Clutch God writes in, he says, "Hey, Zach, if you were trying to get someone into football who had never watched before, how would you do it?" If I were trying to introduce someone to football, the rules are daunting. People don't understand. I think a lot of men especially don't have a sensitivity to the fact that the rules of football are confusing. Even for someone it's not about this or that. It's if you grew up watching football, it's hard to understand someone who doesn't understand football because it's a first down. What do you mean you don't get a first down? But the rules are so complicated. And if you've grown up with the game of football, you do all the math and you do all the thought processing and all the understanding of the game in your head, and you don't even realize how complicated all the stuff you're processing in your brain is. So what I would do if I was to, my girlfriend doesn't know anything about football, and it's kind of a blessing because we go to dinner and she doesn't want to talk about the Cleveland Browns. That's what I do for work, and so it's really nice to not have to focus on the Browns constantly when I'm at dinner with my girlfriend. It's nice that she doesn't understand football. But I will say, if I were ever to try to introduce her to the game of football, someone who doesn't really understand it, I would try to appeal to her emotional side. I would show her a football documentary. I would probably show her either a 30 for 30 is great. Carson Palmer, A Football Life is great, but the best sports documentary, best football documentary I would probably show my girlfriend to introduce her to the game of football would be the ESPN 30 for 30, The Four Falls of Buffalo. It's a tragic story where the Buffalo Bills lost 4 championships in a row. 4 in a row. I mean, they got to the pinnacle and they lost all 4 times. It's unprecedented. And if you can't watch that story and connect with the gut-wrenching experience of loss and failure, I think you're not human. And so if I were to, I shouldn't have said the emotional side. I would say if I were to show somebody football, man, woman, who knows, whatever you are, right? From another country, maybe never liked football, I would try to appeal to their humanity and show them a story like the 30 for 30, The Four Falls of Buffalo, where you're showing them the human side, loss, failure, success, dealing with all that. That's what I love about football anyway. They don't need to know the rule, first down, catch, all this. It's complicated, and they'll learn it in time if they want to, but that's something they have to choose on their own. If you want to learn football, you learn football, but you do it by watching, and that's something that someone has to choose on their own. If I was to ever introduce someone to the game of football, I would just try to show them a story, appeal to their humanity with a documentary that teaches them about loss, A Football Life, America's Game, 30 for 30. There's a lot of football documentaries. Maybe you watch All or Nothing on Amazon Prime, but there are so many documentaries you could watch that would appeal to someone's humanity and show them that side of football. And that's how I would introduce someone to the game.